Hi, this is a special edition of our Bookish Talk. We have a very special guest today. It's Anna Markova, a book historian, I guess.
Hi.
Is it right? Book historian.
Yes, totally. And a rare book librarian, both.
Rare book librarian from Moscow. And I will tell why it's so special in a minute. And as usual, the other person in this podcast is Pavel, my co-host. Hi, Pavel.
Hi. Also from Moscow.
Also from Moscow. Yeah, Moscow dominates this episode. And I'm Stepan, joining from Paris, at least for now. And the reason for this meeting, for this episode, is that as I talked quite a lot in the previous months, we plan to try making a French version of our podcast, and Anna is going to be our host. So very gracious of her, and we're glad to find her to do this. So can you just say a couple of words about you, about your career? Why French? Why books?
Yes, sure. So my name is Anna Markova, and I'm working in the Pushkin State Museum of Fine Arts in Moscow. It's the main museum of European art here. And I work in the library and do everything about rare books. I mean, the main scientific project is the catalog of old books of 15th and 16th century. And also I select books for restoration, for scanning, and so on. Why French and why binding? In fact, I was studying in Moscow University, just like Stepan and Pavel, and I was primarily an art historian. And then I wanted to continue in the field of book history, and in Moscow, there wasn't a place for it as I wanted. So I decided to go to Paris, and I've been studying for 2 years in Paris in the École Nationale des Chartes. This is a kind of university where we study book history and also paleography and so on. And I worked I have been working in the Bibliothèque Nationale de France. In the rare book department, I was assistant to the project about book binding. This is a database of book binding of this library. And then 10 years ago, the story of my life with book binding have been started, and now I continue. And I wrote one book about Russian book binding, and I have a blog about it in Russian and English. And thanks to Stepan to invite me in this French version of podcast, because the French was the first language for me to study book binding terminology and this field of book history. So it's a really great pleasure to continue and not forget some terms, you know, to practice and speak with French book binders.
Yep.
So you are in a rather special position where you've seen the book culture from inside, both in Russia and in France. How would you compare them?
When you say book culture, it's also old book culture that is held in the libraries, you know, it's like Latin language, something that that is not living now. I think, you know, specialists are the same. You know, you take one physicist in Moscow and another one in United States, and they will understand each other without language, maybe. I don't know if there is a huge difference between France and Russia.
First and foremost, I probably mean attitude towards sharing, say, because in Russia it's really difficult to get access to old books, either offline or online, because it's only recently that any kind of sizable portion of our collections started to be uploaded online. Like a couple of years ago, you couldn't even find the most famous of our books held in the Russian State Library. Now you can see them. And as far as I know, Pushkin Museum's collection is still very much not available to wider public. And yet BNF has been uploading and scanning and sharing for over a decade now. So that at least that is different.
Totally.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. The general problem with the attitude to culture in our country, maybe that's it. And the position of librarian there, if you are a librarian in the field of rare books in French, you are a person that society respects. I don't know if I'm clear. And there, when I say that I'm librarian, somebody look at me, what are you doing? You know, like a little library in a little part of the town. You just talk to people and give them books. It's not so prestigious.
Yeah. And even the thing is that even a small library in the distant part of town or city can be a really important place of gathering and spreading information and knowledge. And I had some experience working and talking to librarians during my past career, and I saw how attitude probably changed over the past maybe 15 years, attitude from people and from the Moscow government to libraries and librarians. And I really hope it will change much more, and librarians will definitely have more authority and more respect, because they have an important work to do.
I think that it's also a two-way problem. I mean, people don't know to respect librarians because they largely don't know what you guys do. Yours is a very closed off field, at least in Russia. You are keepers of our heritage, and as such are very protective of what you keep, which is a good thing, but also perhaps you could be more open as a field. I mean, not you personally. You clearly do a lot to open the field up. But on the whole, I'd say it's very difficult to get access not only to books, but also to people. I've been trying to interview someone from the Russian State Library or from the Historical Museum, and they don't really want to talk about their job.
You know, it's difficult also to show the book in the exposition. It's kind of object very hard to expose brightly and interesting. And there are also conditions, special conditions for showing books, you know, 2 months only. And that's what we are planning to do in the future with our colleagues from the library of the Pushkin Museum of Fine Arts. Now our readers' room is very small. We are in the main building of the museum, and we are moving in a few years in the new building. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And now we're planning all readers' rooms, and there will be one special room for special collections, and we will engage more activities in rare books, make it more open, if I can say that.
Are there any plans to have some kind of permanent exhibition space like the Russian State Library opened a few years back in the Ivanov
Now it's
room.
closed in Russian State Library, you know?
Yeah, I know, unfortunately, yes. But it's just that I compare our libraries to, say, the British Library, where they have both a very decent permanent exhibition, but also a rotating exhibition because most books just can't be shown on it permanently. And also, will it be a part of?
Still, I should say that with most of our British guests when we discussed British Library, they were not really satisfied by the way British Library exhibits its objects and gives access to for wider audience to these objects. So
Why?
Well, they think they don't do enough.
Okay.
So I guess it's a problem for any country and for any library.
We need to plan, a special train in Moscow underground with huge photos of rare book. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
I was wondering, do you feel there's interest for exhibitions like that? Do you think the public is engaged with those sorts of events?
There is some professional deformation in me. I'm very interested. It's difficult to say about other people.
But I'd say this exhibition we've visited together with Stepan about Gutenberg's Bible. It wasn't just about it, but it was dedicated to this exciting object. It was very well made. It was professionally lit. It was designed. And I visited 3 times actually, and every time I wasn't the only person there, as it usually is with book exhibitions in Russia, because I usually get the whole space to myself. So there is clearly some interest.
That exhibition was a kind of hope for all of us, for librarians. Like, yes, we can do it. It will be interesting for people. And I hope our library will do also some exhibitions in permanence, but a little bit later, because now we are planning our moving to a new building.
And in terms of exhibitions, what kind of exhibitions are you thinking about? I mean, are they organized around some topic, some date, some specific technique? What kind of exhibitions can we hope for?
I think everything is interesting. I like technology of books, like special topics like gold in books. Is it real or not? Publisher's binding or very old binding with a natural real gold. And everything is possible. There is a French historian of colors, Michel Pastoureau. So
amazing.
We can choose a topic, one color in books, and why is just enough.
I guess we should return to our podcast and the general idea we started this video with, and the French version of iBookBindings podcast. And I wanted to say just a couple of words how this will go. And so the current plan is to record a pilot episode and to see how it works. And we already have a person who agreed to be our first guest. I wouldn't announce it right away because we still need to record the video and edit it. But well, we have a guest in mind, and the guest already agreed to do that. In all major ways, this podcast will be similar to the English version, only in French. And Anna will be the host of this podcast, and I will be there, but only as a technical assistance. And after we launch it, we will see how it goes. And I hope we'll continue, because French-speaking bookish world is a universe on its own, and there is so much to explore there. So I hope we'll have lots and lots of interesting guests in the future. And for our English language viewers, we plan to add subtitles, English subtitles to this video. I'm not sure if we will make English audio versions of this podcast, because it's a whole different process to dub the videos, and but they will definitely be subtitled, so you will be for all of you, it will be possible to watch the videos and read the subtitles.
I was wondering about, say, North Africa. Lots of things are surely happening there, of which none of I know nothing. I mean, I know what happened there centuries ago, but what's going on right now, that would be also great to know. It's not just North Africa. Half, or at least 1/3 of the continent are speaking French. Have you had any contact with this world? Do you know anything about those people?
No, for me, no.
We'll have to do our research and to try to spread the net through our first guests and through mutual friends and colleagues. But I really hope we will find someone and some guests, because it's really amazing. It's the same with the Spanish version of our podcast, which we're also working on at the moment, because there is this huge bookbinding world of South and Central America, which is not really accessible to many European and American bookish people, because there is this language gap and all sorts of other barriers and gaps. And we really hope to open up this connection and to bring more dialogue and show more bookbinders. So that's our hope, both for French and for Spanish versions. So if you want to say something in French to our French colleagues and viewers, I guess that's the moment.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Bon, c'est parfait. Je me réjouis de commencer très bientôt cette nouvelle version française du podcast de Stéphane. Je dis bienvenue à tous les spectateurs qui vont nous joindre. On va préparer quelque chose de très intéressant pour vous. Donc, à très bientôt.
Ok.
Voilà.
Okay. Merci. That's all I can do, at least for now. Thanks a lot for talking to us, for making this introduction, and for agreeing to record this pilot episode of our podcast. And we'll see how it goes. And as usual, many thanks to our viewers, many thanks to our patrons. Mostly because of you, we can start making these additional versions, because editing of all these videos is paid by your pledges. So if you want for our French and Spanish versions to succeed, please use the link below, go to Patreon, and maybe become one of our new patrons. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.